institution. Yes. So that's a story on the point of view to want to reach culture entrepreneur. Our community move forward to 7 holistic well. And if the entrepreneurs has a certain circumstances like I've shared, so all the staff in that companies, if they are not mature enough or complete mature enough as the co-founder or manager expect, they don't dare to give them responsibility and power. So our expert community will be their company to help them move forward to entrepreneur, to mature completely, fulfill, mature. So very simple, joyful, trustful, and light. Yeah. So cooperate together between our community, expert community, and other companies, entrepreneurs, the leaders. So I've shared about the real situation I've just met yesterday morning, and we will build a pathway to help the founder, the managers, and the staff. So in today's scenario, I would love to share the real demand in the society and entrepreneurs, and the way for us to develop. Thanks for your listening. I really appreciate your sharing, Mr. Thanh Hiệp. Yeah, we will move to another Zoom soon. Hello các anh chị, các thầy cô. Hello cô anh Trang, cô Trinh, cô Amy.
Chào cô Linh Lê, chào cô Trầm, chào cô em,
cô
Trinh, chào cô thầy cô.
So today I see the presence of many experts, many teachers. We will apply the root education philosophy to business. Yeah, hello everyone. So we've just have the conversation with Mr. Tô Thanh Hiệp, the CEO of institution. So please allow me to introduce teacher Xuân Thống and Miss Lan Hương. Mr. Thấu is a person I had a chance to learn and grow, and during that period I saw how he dedicated and involved himself to the organization, and she want to develop the human and the community professionally. With all that dedicated heart and many chances to help people and business could contribute the value to the society. So in here, some of us knew him, some others not. So I would love to invite Mr. Thấu to appear with us. I really appreciate Miss Phương gave me a chance to share, and I would love to say hello to everyone in this Zoom this Saturday morning. Really appreciate your presence in the Saturday morning, because normally Saturday morning we will take rest, right? We will spend time with family or personal tasks, but you spend time to be here in the Zoom with us, so I could see how we prioritized for what is important. So I really appreciate it in the Saturday morning. Yes, that will be regular Zoom for us every Saturday morning. Please spend time to be together. We will receive many value as well as lessons from all experts, and the real examples and stories, how we apply our root education philosophy to the real life, to the work, and to very close to us. So we are here in the lesson. There is the presence of Miss Đỗ Lan Hương. Miss Phương introduced about her, so I please allow me to reintroduce about Miss Hương, a member of the manager of IECCD institution. Miss Hương said appreciate to Mr. Thấu. Em thấy có sự hiện diện cô An. Em nhờ cô An tiếp tục vào chương trình hả cô An?
Thank you.
Em biết ơn cả nhà. Vâng ạ. Mời cô An.
Trang xin phép tiếp tục chuyển ngữ chương trình của Viện Doanh Văn hóa Doanh nhân nhé. Cô Hương đang chia sẻ. Okay. So all of you, as the pieces of the pieces of the pictures on the journeys of the institution, and our institution has been established and developed with 4 core values, which I would like to remind a little bit today, so we can always know clear the image of our institution, so we can accompany each other. First, we hold on to the value of Greek knowledge. So first, the IECCD Institute will create the report and the numbers with all of the statistics in order to apply in the long term. And this is a very good news that this morning there is the Zoom had just end, right?
Dạ đúng rồi cô. Là chuyển Zoom mới đó cô. Lúc nãy là các thầy cô cũng có nói là có khả năng là phải rời Zoom ấy ạ.
Alright. So we just wait for the next.
Bị sao cho nên Zoom hôm nay mới có mấy chục người à. Tuần trước tới mấy trăm người luôn.
Okay. So we're gonna log back into the same link or will be the different link?
Dạ, em không rõ nè. Có các thầy cô nào bên viện không ạ? Bên Zalo của viện không ạ?
Có cô Trinh nè. Trinh có
Em
trong
không
Zalo
nắm
của
được
viện.
thông tin.
Nhưng mà không vô. Cô Hương à. Cô Hương có trông thành với một kiểu tóc tôi nãy đến giờ.
Ai ạ? Cô Trinh ấy ạ?
Cô Hương, cô mới vừa chia sẻ đó.
Cô Lan Hương. Dạ. Dạ cô Michael Yuki Hana là nickname của thầy cô nào vậy ạ?
Hello cô, good morning. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm still working right now. Thank you.
Bây giờ mình đợi Zoom nào ta?
Em thấy mọi người đang vào nhiều hơn rồi đó cả nhà. Đang
Là vẫn Zoom cũ à? Vẫn Zoom cũ
Dạ.
đúng không cô Trinh?
Đúng không? 45 tại vì em thì thầy Thống vẫn đang ở Zoom này mà.
Vâng. Tức là bị xét làm sao đó mà 40 phút nó hết.
Okay,
Cô Phương mới vô nè, thầy Đạt giờ cũng mới vào nè, tất cả các thầy cô giờ mới vào nè.
Okay,
Dạ. Chào cô Trang nha.
Chào cô Trang, chào cô Trinh, chào cả nhà.
Cả nhà mình nghe cả hai Zoom nha cả nhà. Nếu như mà quan tập để chuyển ngữ.
Okay, so currently cô Vũ Phương is sharing. Okay. Right, back to cô Lan Hương. I would like to share one of very good news because this morning the economics community basically they have been cooperate with our institution to create some projects for us to do, and that is very good news for our institution and especially for myself. And this news I have received it at 10 past 8, and I would like to share this with you so you can all share this news at the beginning of the workshop. And why is that? Because when we joined and today in today's workshop we trying to clarify the image of our destination, of our journey, and when our institution and our community have the support of the HIP and other teachers. So I would like to remind you the four core values of our institution. So the first one, we will have all of the reports, the statistics, the image, the database. Those are the intellectual knowledge of our institution. So that is the first core value. And the second core value is the developed value. So these are development for the family educator, mentor, master, and the youth community and those volunteers in order to achieve our vision. And yesterday I have already shared a post in the fan page of the institution. So I would like to invite you all to follow the fan page, okay, to receive more information. Okay, and so that is the development, the value of the development. And the third one is that this knowledge will be applied into school, into local officials, government, and we'll be able to apply them. We also have all the tools and means to measure, and also the local application process. And our institution will also measure with the specific figure. Okay, there's a saying, and that saying that clarity is a strength. Okay, and so if you step into the IT, you will see on the word the saying, the writing that clarity is power. Clarity is power. And Trần Minh Sơn, to answer him, there's a link in the fans page has been written by cô Vũ Minh Phương. And the fourth core values is the social value, which will also be measured with the people benefit, the entrepreneurs got the result, and the model that can be multiplied, and what value that we provide for society, how can we measure them. So we'll be able to do all of that on the journey of our institution progress. So those are the beneficial image of our institution when you be able to join into the environment of our institution. So we'll be able to apply all of these number of ESD, SDG in order to develop and follow the direction of society, the orientation of society. Thank you ever so much. Thầy Thống, cô Vũ Phương, anh Hiệp have given me the opportunity so I can remind everyone about the image, the destination of our institution, and the sharing today is a clear image is the result, the outcome. And I would like to return the microphone to cô Vũ Phương. Thank you ever so much, cô Đỗ Lan Hương. I gratefully appreciate your wholehearted and also the community, the company of the community, and especially Anda, who is the president of our institution. So we have the opportunity and the meeting that we'll be able to meet each other on Saturday, every Saturday like this. And especially thank you to all the members of the Institute of Cultural Business and Community Development. Thank you all of the teachers very much. Here we have some of the people have just joined. I would like to borrow cô Vũ Lan Hương word to share again the four core values of the institution to everyone. The first core values is the value of the research. The second values is the training value. Okay. So we accompany the institution to develop, to educate community. Okay. The third is the functions, the value of application, measurement, and establish the real value into the current model applied into society. And the fourth value is the research and establish result apply into society, green economic, and those applied into society. So those are the four core values of the institution. And our institution is also life living. In order for it to survive is built by the wholeheartedness of those members of the institution. So in order for us to exist and create more value is based on these 4 core values, and also our support, and especially those leaders, those business entrepreneurs, school, local officials, and those people who has been working into different environments which align with the value that we have here. So because of you accompany us, you can help our institution to develop and to be able to create more value to similar community. Okay. And I would like to say thank you ever so much. I'm gratefully appreciate to everyone, to all the community, to all the teachers. So we have be able to create the next journey that we go into share this humanistic knowledge into business. And I would like to invite the representative of our institution so he can share the knowledge. And I would like to invite the main professions who share the knowledge with us today. I would like to invite all the members or the teachers of our institution. Thầy Thống appears to say thank you everyone, cô Vũ Phương. Thank you everyone for arranging your time to participate with our institution every Saturday morning. And next Saturday, please help me. We're going to open Zooms at 8:30, and from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, we will exchange knowledge with each other. Okay, exchange information with all the teachers in our institution. So we exchange knowledge from 8:30 until 9, and then after 9, there will be the sharing session of thầy Giang Lưu Nhật Anh. So today we have, it is past 9 already, okay, and we only have another 2 hours. So please be on time next time, and we will start on time to share the main content. Okay, I don't know whether thầy Nhật Anh already here. Thank you, thầy Nhật Anh. Okay, thầy Nhật Anh says yes, I'm here. And I would like to introduce to you thầy Nhật Anh. He will help us to clarify how to apply the humanistic view into business. I would like to invite our teachers. Thank you, thầy Thống. Thầy Nhật Anh up here. My phone be out. Điện thoại sắp hết pin rồi. Okay, cô Trama, cô vào Trang một chút, anh Trang đi lấy cái dây chạc điện thoại nó dài dài một chút đó con. Biết ơn con.
Dạ. Dạ vâng ạ. Can you hear me clearly? Thầy Nhật Anh hỏi. Hay là cô Annie? Really appreciate. Today we will share with each other one slogan of DIT group. Not really slogan, but it's really meaningful. Hold. Clarity is the power, or clarity is the strength. So start from there will have a topic. Why we need to clarify, and clarify what. So the topic today will expand more than it. We will look at the cause and effect point of view and how we applied it. So that's the topic of our Zoom today. So clarity is clarify all the message, ideas, strategy, all the steps, the goals. So those are applications in business, but we want to have very thorough, deeply in the human life view, what the cause we need in the business to build the fulfillment and abundance. So we need to clarify those causes. So sometimes if we listen overwhelmed by all the listening, like cause and effect law, have you heard? You've heard about that so much so far, right, in life. So we have cause effect in 3 perspectives. Yeah, cô Trang ready không ạ?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first belongs to cosmic view.
Trang xin phép đổi màn hình ha để share.
Yeah. So we have world view perspective. World view. Cause and effect in cosmic view. The religion and belief, and human life view.
We just shared this yesterday, but it's in a different diagram. Anyway.
Humanistic view, cosmic view, and world view. So we will have a look about cause-effect law in these 3 perspectives, and why clarity is the strength, the power. And if we could see clearly, we could create. That's the logic. Yeah. So let's talk about cause effect in world view. We will think about if we want to build a house, so where will we start the course? How we will design the idea? What will we need? How much will we spend? Who will do it? Rồi em mời cô Trang ạ. Yeah. Biết không cô ạ?
Just one moment. Okay. So the cause relate to the outcomes. The outcome is a material in this word. For example, if you want to eat an orange, and so if you want to eat an orange, then what is the cause? This means that it's got to start from the fact that someone have to sow a seed, and then that seed gonna grow into a tree. Okay. So those are the causality within the humanistic view. So cause plus conditioned. Okay. and then equal the outcomes. So, and then we get the outcomes. Okay, the outcome is the materials under the world view, and causality of the world view is everywhere. The causality of cosmic view is belong to the religions and faith. They often talk about it. Okay, and they often talk about whether people in this life or a different life will receive what kind of result, what kind of outcome. Or in another way, we can say that the cause is that when you leave this body, where you're gonna go to, okay, and that is the cosmic view. Okay, so we have the causality of worldview and cosmic view. Okay, so whenever we talk about causality, okay, people often talk about the causality of cosmic views the most, and then people after that they start to talk about the causality of worldview applied everywhere. But in order to complete this, we have to also talk about the humanistic view. Humanistic view is everything related to the existence and development of human being. So what cause relate to the existence and development of human being. So if we can understand this, we know the process of this, how can we achieve desirable outcome in our life, then that is a very important knowledge in our life. And in business is related to humanistic view because it's related to the existence and development of a human being. So we have the Institute of Cultural Entrepreneur and Community Development. So business relate to humanistic view. So in order to do business good, we must understand about the causality of humanistic view. So do you understand this? Therefore, the causality of humanistic view is quite broad. Okay, it is an aspect very huge, very broad. For example, relate to business, relate to family, marriage and families. So the outcomes of a relationship, how is it like? If we know what cause created, then over time we'll be able to create a cause, and then that lead to the desirable outcomes in our life. So people will be able to tell us that when we want to eat an orange or an apple, we need to sow the seed of an apple or orange, and then through the process of development growing, then it will lead to the fruit, right? But very seldom number of people be able to give us the answer for the outcomes of the harmonious marriage and successful business. Okay, and the outcomes of the lasting business. Then after 20 years, 40 years, that outcome might disappear. So very few people be able to give us the answer for our humanistic view, from marriage to our health. Okay, and therefore we don't know which cause we need to nurture. And if we know which cause to nurture, then and if we know which desirable outcome come from which cause, then what we would do? What would we do? Okay, we would very focus on clarify that cause, right, and nurture it. Okay, take care of it, and then one day is we reap the desirable outcome from happy marriage to successful business, right? And today we talk about the business development for our best development. So therefore, causality of humanistic view is one of the knowledge very worthy to get to know about. And today is one of the sessions we will talk about the humanistic view. And today this series may take about 3 to 4 sessions. So every workshop, 3 to 4 workshops every week. And today we will talk about the outcome of humanistic view in one aspect only. Okay. Because in our life, in order to understand it completely, there's many views to look at, many lenses to look at, and the expert told us that if we want to understand one field, we need to base on 3 angles. Okay. The first angle is science. Okay. Now another angle is the lens of religions, faith. And another lens, another view is the tradition, folk tradition. Dân gian, folk. Okay. So sometimes the folk said to us is very accurate, right? But when we look in scientific lens, sometimes science couldn't be able to explain all of that. So we have to look at the lens of religions and faith in order to have a different understanding. So we do not get entangled into any lens, okay? Because whichever lens that you get entangled into, okay, you get attached to it. And there's an expert told us that if we want to find out more about one field, then it's best to look at these 3 angles, the 3 lenses. Okay? So to find out more about the causalities of humanistic view is similar to that. We look at the humanistic view in terms of science, religions, faith, and traditions, folk tradition. So the workshop today, I would like to talk about the scientific lens. Okay, so we understand the causalities of humanistic views, and in order to understand that, okay, we need to know what cause it is in terms of science. Obviously, if we only know the scientific lens, that will not be enough because it doesn't cover everything. So there will be some questions, some information that against this. And the next couple of days we will talk about the causalities of humanistics in terms of religions, faith, and tradition. And I would like you all to participate all of the session of the workshops. Okay, maybe the next 3 workshops, so we can have the complete understanding about humanistic views in these 3 angles. That means we have the complete understanding of humanistic views with the 3 views, and our life will transform because we know the cause of humanistic view. We know the outcomes of humanistic view will come from which cause, and we know what to do with each of those causes. And cô Trang check over một chút nhé, anh Trang dỗ bé một chút nha cô Trang. Biết ơn cô.
So we have so many experience concepts that pass on from previous generation, but somehow it's not completely correct. So how one person could develop business for long? So nothing is better than compare based on the cause effect in business. Yeah. So you catch my idea. Yeah. So please send message to me that I could receive the feedbacks that you how you receive until now. So a person who establish or run business, if they have the knowledge of cause effect in a humanistic view, they have the foundation or the power. Not sure that they will be successful or too full, but at least they have the điểm tựa là gì ta? So it's like a flow, always a flow. If we go with the flow, it will be lightly. If we go against the flow, the current flow, it will be really hard. Yeah, we'll need to, we meet a lot of struggles. Even they have the result, the outcome that they want, but really easily to be back at the starting point. So one of the reason is how they go with the flow. So the flow always run. If we know that law, we will move to the destination easier. So we start to understand about cause and effect in humanistic, especially in business and in the science view. Yeah, thank you so much. And we will start talk about cause effect of humanistic life in the science view. Please write down outcome. Yeah, the outcome. The outcome is all the fruits. Yeah. The outcome, the result that we have right now, we own right now, or we possess. For example, a person is healthy or not is a kind of outcome. A person is healthy or not is a kind of outcome, right? Yeah, a type of outcome. A person who has finance, good or not, is that an outcome? The relationship, the quality of the current relationships, or many relationships, quality relationships or not, is kind of outcome. The misunderstanding or problem with someone is a kind of outcome too. Because outcomes includes favorable or good outcome, desirable outcome, what we want, have money or not is the outcome. The business, the human resources, how are they also the kind of outcome? about our family, the marriage, relationships, is also the kind of outcome. Maybe in the past it's not good, over time it's better, or on the converse, so it's kind of outcome too. So simple logic is we find back the cause to create that outcome. If we find the root of all the kinds in different types, if different types of outcome, all the different fruits, so what is the cause? Cô Trang tiếp tục được rồi không ạ?
Yeah, thank you, Coach Ma.
Dạ vâng.
And then we recreate the outcome that we want. Then our life will enter into a new page, and we will have a new important awareness, that is awareness of human life. So this knowledge we call is the formula of the root cause of life. So we can trace back what is the cause of our life to create the outcomes under the scientific view. So, in your opinion, all the outcome that we have just listed out, where do they come from? Okay, in your opinion, where do they come from? The outcomes, this outcome, where do they come from? There's no right or wrong here. Please help me, give me some of your opinion so I can help you with my best. Okay. And we can trace back to the deepest reason of it, whether it's come from ourselves, right? It's come from ourselves. So this is a very special awareness. If it's come from us, we have the ability to change. But some people they won't say that it's come from ourselves. They would say that it's come from the environment, the opportunity, the circumstances, and we have not yet talked about those, right? If it's come from the outside, the external, then we are unable to control it. But if we know that we have the awareness, it's come from outside, that's a very important awareness. Okay. So we go into dig deeper here. So in order to figure out the outcome of our life, where do they come from? And the main reason is come from ourselves. But when we say it's come from ourselves, it's still very broad. Okay, because from ourselves we also still don't know where they come from, because we're saying that clarity is power, right? The more clear we make it, the more powerful we are. So some people said that the outcome comes from the cause. That is obvious. Everyone knows that's a cause. So what's that cause? If we just say cause, it's very simple. But what is that cause? We still are not clarified. Do not have clarity. So we need to clarify that. Clarify what cause is it. Okay. Some people said that from our thinking and action. That's right, but still not accurate. Okay. So if you can choose one word that directly influence our outcomes, what is that? Okay. We can say that our thinking and action is also affect, but the direct, that's indirect. Okay. It's come from the source concept. Okay. So what else? What else does it come from? From action. Some people said from action. No, it's not yet. So it's come from this, everyone. It's come from our choice. Our choice, that means is directly affect, influence our outcomes. The series of our choice in the past somehow is create the outcomes that we have today. since from our childhood, we have chosen to drink milk or not, drink more the milk or not. We choose what to eat or not to eat. We choose, and when we grow up a little bit, we choose who to play with, who to be friend with, and we choose to like this person and do not like the others. And when we grow up a little bit more, what happened? We choose which subject to learn, which one not to, and then we choose which career to pursue, which career to avoid. Okay, obviously we can say that the condition lead us there, but you have the choice. So you have the choice whether to let it go or continue. You have a choice to follow certain people. You have a choice to stay somewhere for a certain period of time. Okay, so obviously there are different reasons, but at the end of the day, you are the person who make the choice. So the series of choices, you choose to get married or not, choose to have children or not, choose to go somewhere or not, choose to move your house, your family or not. Okay, some scenarios will push you into change, but you are the person who make the change, who make the choice. So we cannot say that someone forced us to make that choice, because at the end of the day, you are the person who make the choice. Obviously, there are some influence, but you are the person who make the choice. Therefore, our choice is directly create our outcome, right? But it's very strange, everyone. Our people have the tendencies that whatever best, whatever good for us, we say that, oh, it's our choice. But whatever is disadvantage for us, we have a tendency to say that, oh, someone else, the external factors, someone else has lead us to do that. Like our parents force us into marriage, the economic change, and we have to change our business, right? So that is the inner tendencies of human being, khuynh hướng nội tâm, inner tendency. And so whatever good, we often said that we are the person who make the choice, and whatever not good, bad, we said that someone else forced us to do it. Do you think it's strange? Okay. So you think it's strange? Most of us will always do that. Okay. Okay. And that's very weird, right? Because at the end of the day, all our choice. So to clarify this, darling, can you check on me? She hurt. She says her leg is hurt inside. I massage a little bit, but still. Okay, sometimes we are not proactive, making the choice. But sometimes, if we like something, obviously we will proactive. We'll take initiative to choose, right? But somehow we don't do anything, but we still have that outcome. So why is that? Because it suits us. It suits us. Okay. We don't like it. It suits us. So, for example, in some circumstances, you see that at this particular organization, okay, people get bullied, right? For example, you do something, you're unable to be proactive in what you do. But when you move to somewhere else, does it happen the same? Okay, you be isolated, you be bullied, and then you stop working at that place and move to a different workplace, and the chance that things will happen again, right? Yeah, there's a chance it will happen again. You move to a different workplace, and there's a chance that it's also happen again. Okay. On another hand, some people, wherever they go, they become a leader at that place. Doesn't matter if it's a new place. Okay. Looking around, eventually people will appoint that person in the leader position. Okay, are those reality exist, right? You see the reality in your life the moment you step into grade 1. Okay, some of the children in grade 1 will be promoted into the leader of the class, okay, and then the other will be promoted as a deputy of the class. So, and then that person, wherever they go, they be upon to become the leaders, okay. And some people will be upon to be the deputy of the leader. So, so whether you like it or not, okay, it suits you, okay, and because it suits you, it leads to that outcome. And let me tell you a secret. Those health outcomes that you currently have, okay, the outcome of health that you currently have, if it's good, then you proactively create it. Okay. But if it's not good, let's say you have a sickness, you have an illness, then do you say that, oh, because you are suit that sickness, that's why you have it? Okay. So each of us, we will have suitability to a certain illness. Some people is always have stomach ache, and some people always have back and shoulder ache. Okay. And each of us, we will have a different health problems because we suitable with that. Okay. If I'm saying that, would you agree with me? Most of our illness, we don't think that's because of us. Okay. Some people said, oh, because of that person's body type. But under the formula of the root cause of life, because somehow, somewhere, something in our body suitable with that illness, that's why it appears in our body. And some people, right, they always have others come to them to borrow money. Or some people always lend other people money. And with some people, you never be able to borrow money from them. And if you borrow money from them, you have to pay it. You can't quit. Okay. And that person, right, there's certain cause that lead to that outcome. And so, for example, some women, wherever they go, people always respect them. But some other women, they always go somewhere and they meet bad guys, right? Okay. Which means sometimes they just met someone, just dating someone for a while, and they wanted to go into intimacy, okay? And some will meet certain guys who behave badly to them. So that's result, that's outcome. They don't like it, but they suit it. It suits them. It suits them. It suits them, so they choose it. So automatically it's the choice ready there. So sometimes we say that this type of person, they go everywhere, they will meet the wise ones. Okay, and there's certain people, they go somewhere, they never ever to meet anyone who found the way to them, because their characteristics, okay, their characteristics that suit it. And some people, wherever they go, they be able to meet the wise one who found the way to them. So those are because of their choice. And deeper than that, because they suitable with that. Okay, their characters suitable with that.
Lay down to sleep then. Lay down to sleep, yeah.
The characters. Some people said a personality, okay, that we choose certain things and lead to the outcome. Mình nằm đang ngủ đi. Okay, can lay down here. Okay, we understand here is will be very good, because everything in our life will disappear if we understand it up to here, because of our characters. Okay, that's why we suit certain things that come to us. Okay, wherever we go, we'll be able to meet the wise person, because wise people who help us. because of that characters we attract the wise people. Okay, and some people, because of certain character, where they couldn't be able to cooperate with anyone. So it's not because of external circumstances, but because of that person character. So if a person notices, they will change their characters, and a person character will change over time in order to suit a better outcome. There's someone said that with me, I have many friends and neighbors. Okay, they always said call names and say different things, and then I turn around and change the ways I've pronounced them, the personal pronouns. Now, some people, they are not behave badly to others, but behave very good to us, right? So our characters determined our life outcomes, and that's why some people give us an advice: if we want to change our outcome, let's change our characters. But however, character is not the root cause. Why is that? Because we don't know which character lead to which outcome, right? If we already know that, then people already be happy. Because if they know they want to have happiness, then they need to change the characters with suitable with happiness, and they will get there. But because they are not clear, they do not know which character lead to success, and otherwise people already success, right? That's why character is not the root cause. Okay. But up to here, we can conclude that we don't know yet how life turned out, but we can conclude that the root cause of our life today is come from ourselves, is come from our own choice, okay, come from what we're suitable to, okay, with that characters that we have, we create the outcomes. And with certain character, everything is everything is at advantage, become advantage to us. From the result of business, where there is benefit or not. Some people, doesn't matter how long they do business, it leads nowhere. But there's a lot of answers. But the main answer is come from the root cause from ourselves. Okay, because we're suitable to certain things. So because we choose certain things, it leads to certain outcome. And that's why the root cause of life first is originate from me. Okay, and originate from me. How does it originate from me? Then we're gonna trace this back. Okay, so you understand it up to here. Okay, you get it up to here. Okay, everyone. Okay, let me know so I can continue. Right. So therefore, people start to change their character in order to have a better outcome. But the character is not the root cause, because we do not know which character, which outcomes. And therefore, people start to research and find out what influence our characters. And they found out that because of our habit that we repeatedly for a long time, long-term habit that shaped our characters, and then people start to build a new habit, and then they change their character, they change their habit, change their characters. Okay, but the habit is not the root cause, because it doesn't matter how you change your habit, eventually it's come back to the same. Some people try very hard to change their habit, but they are unable to change it completely. And those people who do research about habits, they understand it very clearly that when you have changed your habits, is going to deeper layer, and there's something that influence our habit, okay, because our habit is just our action that is not a root cause, and people do more research and they change habit, and they know that they have to change their action, because our action change our action will lead to the change of habit. Our action create our habit, and people eventually find out that their thinking lead to their action, their thought. So there was a long time from personal development to business development. Okay, people have a lot of class and research. Okay, they start to change people thought, change people action, change people habit. Okay, and in order to lead to a different outcome, and then people start to change their thought. They find a way to change people's thought. So they said that change our thought, we'll be able to change our outcome. And then people continue their research, and they found out that somehow people are unable to know why. People are unable to know that why do they have that thought. Why that whenever there's a circumstance happen, they have that thought. When they initiate a project, they already think about they're unable to do it, okay, or they be able to do it, and then they start to ask the questions where that thoughts come from. Okay, so where that thoughts come from, that's the root cause, because that thought is not a root cause, because our thought there is no leverage for it. Okay, if we focus on for changing our thought, okay, if our thought is the root cause, then this world will be very positive, right? Because we just say people think positively, then it's better, right? But some people are unable to think positively, because when you encounter disadvantage circumstances, right, and they will get angry because they cannot think positive. Okay, and see, thinking our thought is not the root cause. And all the science, they found out that our belief shaped our thought. Our belief shaped our thought. Okay, belief shaped our thought. Belief shaped our thought. Okay, shaped our thought, and then our thought shaped our action, shaped our habit, shaped our characters. So it's a series that started from our belief. Whatever thought you have is surrounded by that belief. Okay, there's no right or wrong here. Okay, from that thought you have action, you take action, and then that action repeated over time become a habit, and then that form your characters, and then at the end it leads to the outcomes. Okay, so everything started from our belief, and sometimes our belief is formed very fast. Okay, it doesn't go this way, but it's go very fast. It leads to our choice immediately. So the moment that you believe, okay, you already make the choice, right? For example, there's an opportunity for you to invest, right? Invest in a project, and whatever choice, whatever belief you have, you will make a choice immediately whether to invest or not. Okay, and that choice will lead to the outcome immediately. Right. So how can we change our belief? That is an answer I've been wondering for a long time by a lot of scientists, and the belief into ourselves, our self-belief has been built up so people can start to build a business, right? And people start to research how to recreate the beneficial belief. A lot of research has surrounding this word belief, the term, and people found out that our belief is also very vague. Would you agree with me that belief somehow is still vague? It's not clear? Because we don't know which belief do we have. Okay. Some of us, we don't know which belief we currently have and which belief we will have. In a certain circumstances, okay, that belief will appear, okay, and those beliefs currently interfere with our life. Somehow we do not notice them, but they influence all of our choice. In reality, okay, it's influence our choice, whether where we choose to go, to travel. Let's say you choose to travel somewhere within the country, right? Let's choose to go somewhere, okay? So some people will pop up at certain places, right? So why did you choose that destination? Why did you choose that destination but don't choose a different destination? Why is that? Because you already believe in certain things and you don't know where that belief comes from. We don't know where does that belief come from, and the simple thing, just pick a place to go, to travel. We don't have clear where that belief come from. So nowadays we have so many beliefs. Certain people believe in money, right? Some people, doesn't matter how much money they earn, eventually they disappear. Okay, they don't know. There's a certain belief that leads to that outcome. Okay. For example, in marriage, okay, it is an unharmonious marriage. Okay, that person got divorced, and then the next marriage they also be unhappy and got divorced, and they don't know which belief leads to that outcome. If people know how to trace back which belief that people know, so there's a certain NLP method. People try to figure out where's that belief, what's that belief come from, okay, and they focus on that, changing that belief. Okay, and the moment the belief change, the outcome also change. But our belief is very vague, and not many people can change their belief because they do not know how, they do not know the method to change it. And it doesn't matter if you are a professional. Okay, so with belief is not the root cause, and therefore a lot of the wise people, they give us an inquiry that what creates our belief, and what make up of our belief, and if we be able to find out what are those, that is the deepest root cause of our human life. And they found out that because of our image in our mind, the mental image, our mental image represents our belief. Those images that we have in our mind represent our belief. Our belief could be vague, but the image got to be clear, right? The image never lies. Our belief can be blurred, but image is always clear. Because whenever we mention something, right, there's certain belief in it, but there's an image very clear. So, for example, mentioning money. Okay, what image do you have in your mind right now? Mentioning money. So, what image do you have in your mind? Mentioning the source of money. Okay, what image you have in your mind? Some people will appear the image of the source of money, right? So our money will have the flow, right? And some people will see a very difficult image, and that represents the belief they have. We unable to name them, but that image appear in our mind that is difficult, and that represent the belief that you have, and is shape the life that you have. But some people, when mentioned money, they think of fulfillment, okay, and they said that their life is fulfilled already. So belief is not, we can't tell whether I believe in a sentence, but it's appear in an image, okay, and that will reflect in the outcome. So does anyone here, when we mention money, okay, that person doesn't matter if they don't have money, they will eventually have more money, right? Some periods they don't have any money, but somehow money will appear in their life. Does anyone have that? Anyone here have that? Right, so it doesn't matter how much money you have spent, okay, it may become lack of money, but then eventually money will come back, right? Some people, they have a little, their money start draining, and then money will come into their pocket again. So we might not be rich, but we never lack of money, right? So let's forget about belief, because belief is not the root cause. The belief is not the root cause. So it takes a very long time to change the beliefs. We focus on changing our image. We know that our our image represents our belief. So now we focus on understand more about image, and then we figure out how can we use that image to recreate the life that we want, to recreate the business that we design. Okay. So first we talk about the image of money, right? Next the next thing that we often think of in the human life is the relationship between people, right? A person lucky enough to have a good relationships, many good relationships, okay, we need to know this in order to create many good relationships in our life. If it's lucky that you already, in your total karma, you already have good relationship, but we don't know whether it's gonna be maintained or not, because over time, certain relationships change. And if we understand the effect of image, mental image have on our outcome, it will create our life from the personal relationships, business relationships, okay, corporate, college relationships. If we want people around us to have share that image and share agreement to us, okay. So if the moment that we have, okay, a bad image about people, that will restrain the outcome, the good outcome that we have. And similar to the marriage relationships, that lead to the social relationships. So now we will start to understand how the image influence the outcomes of our life today. Okay, so please help me pick two people right now. Pick two people. Okay, right now think of two people, or think of another person, maybe in your life, in your business, anyone, two people. Okay, pick two people. So you already choose those two people yet? In your mind, okay? So pick two people in your mind. You already picked them, right? You already choose who are those already, yeah? Okay, so when mentioning those two people, each of those people, write down 5 words represent the image appear in your mind when you think about them. Okay, whether it's characters. For example, when you think of that person, you think of loyalty, you think of friendly, you think of loving, okay, lovingly to everyone. Okay, so we have two people. So one person will have 5 words, okay, and you write those 5 words down. Okay, so help me do that exercise. So we're gonna spare 1 to 2 minutes to do this. Okay. Cả nhà mình cũng làm cái bài tập này bỏ trên Zoom cả nha. Zoom mình á. Right, so pick 2 people, choose 2 people and write down in the chat box, okay, the word, that image about them appear in your mind. So 2 people, you pick 5 words per person. So you done that? 2 people, and each person you choose 5 words represents them. Okay, you can type them in the chat box. Type them in the chat box. Have you all done? Have you all done, everyone? Two people, all right? So now let's start to go to understand the image influence our life hugely. Okay, I would like to invite one person, one of you, who doing business, right? Please raise your hands and cooperate with me. Cooperate with me. Okay. Exchange the information with me. Okay. I would like to invite chị Hải Yến. Chị Hải Yến nói, hello everyone and thầy Nhật Anh. My name is Hải Yến. Is the yoga teachers and thầy Nhật Anh asked everyone to write out 5 words about 2 friends. Okay. So the first person, right? So the first person is one of my friends, and true. I have the image about him is lovingly energetic. High ego. High ego. Okay. Enthusiastic, loving, warmth, okay, and high ego. So that's man named Drew, and whenever mentioning him, we think of him as enthusiastic, okay, gentle, lovingly, high ego. So somehow you do not think that he is very warm, right? So that's will determine the way you interact with him, okay? And the second person is chị Thảo. Straightforward, accurate. Whenever she says something, is very accurate, okay? She also have high ego and stylish, okay, and very genuine, chân thành, okay. So everyone, after listening to chị share about chị Thảo, can you guess the relationship? Okay, so straightforward, okay, this first word, speak accurately, okay, stylish, okay, genuine, and high ego, okay. So everyone have high ego. So can you guess their relationships? Okay, have a big egos, right? Big egos, no, big ego. So can you guess the relationship between chị Thảo and her? So this relationship, how is it? Okay, some people said it's desirable, good cooperation. People say it's not very pleasant. So this relationship, we have to talk very clearly with them. Okay, that means we can't be vague. Everything had to be clear, right? Okay, so that's it. So when you know the image, you can predict. Okay, you can predict. Okay, you can guess that relationship. Okay. Thank you, chị Yến, for your cooperation. Okay. So in your opinion, okay, whenever mentioning chị Thảo, right? Chị Thảo is the person who is straightforward, okay? So she is the person who have straightforward characters, or you see her is a person who's straightforward, okay? I see that, and she also said that about herself, okay? And how about big ego? Okay, big ego, I see she have a big ego. Obviously, she never tell me that she have big ego. Okay, so you have a very special awareness because you see that person because you hold on to that image. Not necessarily that person have that. Okay, this is a very special awareness because some people, whenever mention someone, they see that person is hot temper. Okay, is it because that person have a bad temper, or because we hold on to the image of that person to have bad temper? Okay, because if you have this awareness, you can change, okay, your awareness here, because otherwise you can, when you look at other people, it could be good, but it might not be that good. Okay. Is there any relationship that you have does not have a good image? And she said that, right. I saw that mostly everyone is good, but only there's a ego. They have a big ego. Okay. So let me help you. Let me help all of you. So we're going to cooperate and understand that the image in our mind influence the outcome of our life. Okay, especially in relationships. Okay. Thank you for your cooperation. We'll continue later on. Okay. Right, everyone. When we see other people, when we mention about someone, we have 5 words represent them. So those 5 words are the words that image of them in our eyes, and those images represent our relationship with them. But those words are not represent them. Okay, they may be not that person, but because we hold on to the image of them as those words, okay, so it represents our interaction with them. So like chị Yến saw the other person is straightforward, okay, but other people look at that person and see this person is easygoing. Okay, some people see that they're easygoing. So whatever you see in that person, that determines your relationship with that person. Let me give you an example, tell you a story so you can understand that your image affects your outcome. Okay, I would like to borrow the story of teachers of the geisha Michael wrote, the story of the pen. Okay, please help me. Please cooperate with me so we can understand this. Okay, so this, when I raise this up, what did you think? What it is? Okay, what is it? Okay, so you said that it is a pen, right? And the pen, we use it to write. Okay, let's say there is a dog close to us. If the dog look at this, what do the dog see? What does the dog see? The dog will see a toy or a ball, depend. Right, so does we see that who is right here? We are right or the dog is right? Chị Yến answer that the both are right. Okay, so thầy Nhật Anh asks, so is this a ball or a pen? The toy or a pen? So let's say I put this here, okay, and we turn off the zooms, no one here, the dog's not here, and what is it then? Then what is it? If no one here, then what is it, everyone? Right, let me repeat again. When we see, okay, when we see, what is it? When we see it, what is it? When we see, it is a pen. Okay, we see it as a pen. Okay, so if a dog look at it, then it could be a pen, a toy, or a ball, right? But if we are not here, the dog is not here, then what is it? What is it? It is nothing. Okay, it's nothing, but does it exist? Okay, it still exists. So it's nothing. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, but it is something because there is an object. Okay, looking at it, and that's why we said that everything has the emptiness. The essence of emptiness. Everything have the essence of emptiness. Okay. So that means that it have it has the essence of emptiness, and it is something because someone does not determine what it is. Okay, so the nature of things, it has the essence of emptiness. Okay, so we borrow this word emptiness, but it doesn't say anything. It doesn't mean anything. Why? Because if we say is empty, then basically we address it as that word. We address it as empty already, right? So what is because there's someone, okay, determine what it is. If we are here, we determine is something, and if it's a dog, look at it, then it could be a pet, a toy or a bone. So what it is because there is someone or something determine what it is. Okay, so this is a very special awareness for us. What is it relate to us? Okay. So the essence of it, what it is because of what it is, or because inside of us. So because so what it is because inside of us we determine what it is, or because the external, because it's from the outside, influence us. Okay. So what it is because of the external, okay, or because of internal inside of us, we create what it is. We determine what it is. So in your opinion, is it because of the internals or externals that create what it is? Okay. Specifically internal, specifically our internal image that, okay, reflect it's what it is, and we determine it is a pen. But if it's a dog, we'll look at this as something else. You have this awareness here. If you have the awareness here, then our life will turn into a new page. Okay. So our internal determine what it is. So all the images that you have written down into word for those people, it's because of who they are, or because the image, the mental image that we have that create who they are. So because of the images that we create them who they are, right? The internal image inside of us. Some person can be a hot temper with other person, but if we hold on to the image that person is very genuine, then that person is genuine in our eyes. A person could be a drunker, right, in their family eyes, but they can be a very good friend in other people's eyes, right? Because they hold on to a different image of that person, and that also build up many different levels of relationship with that person, right? We do not say that this is good or not, good or bad, okay? But what we saying here is what relationship do we want for that person, and then we hold on to the image, desirable image that we design, okay, and we change the image into what we design, to the direction that we design, okay. So we don't need to consider who they are, how they are, because whether who that person is, we unable to be proactive in the relationship, okay, because if we already determine who they are, then how can we change it? So, but if we want whatever relationship we want, then we need to hold on to the image. We choose a certain image to hold on to in order for that relationship to reap in desirable direction. Okay, so some people may tell you that other people, right? They say that they don't have good relationship with other people, but they trust you. Yeah. So have you had those friends? Okay. So some people, they may not interact good with others, but they trust you. They believe in you, right? They trust you. Okay. Maybe they don't respect other people too much, but with you, you have a certain position in their eyes. They may not be close to anyone else, but when they are in problems, in trouble, they will find you. Okay, so why, how, where that's from? Is that because you hold onto an image? Okay, you keep an image of them, you recognize them, and maybe they are not close to other people, but they respect you because you hold on to a certain image of them. So their nature is not because who they are. It doesn't matter who they are, but whatever relationship you want, you hold on to the image of that person, of the relationship you want, then that relationship will result in a certain direction that you desire. Okay. So, and this is very important. It starts from the fact that we change our image. Okay. You understand this? Hence, for example, chị Hải Yến. Okay, you don't bother whether they have big ego or not. Wherever they are, it doesn't matter. But if you want a good relationship, you want to change the relationship with them, then you need to change the image. You pick a different image, you choose another image, represent them. Okay. But so if that image already appear, you just know it's as it is and keep the image that you want. So you take initiative to choose the image that that good for you, benefits for you, and then eventually they will follow the image that you choose already. Okay, because this pen, okay, we call it as a pen because inside of us it reflects, it's a pen. So if someone appear in front of us, who they are, because the image inside of us create them, and whatever their characters, you don't bother about that. Okay, but if you whatever relationship you want with them, then you choose the image. Okay, because your image you can change it, and their image you cannot touch it. And that's how we can control the relationship in the human life. Whatever relationship is not very good, then first we have to have awareness that because we do not have a good image of them, right? Because our inner being, whether it is staying in the peace or not, because we change the image of those first people. And when you change the image, you change the outcome. And therefore, we understand that everything has the essence of emptiness. And whatever it is, because someone determined what it is, and whatever one you want to do, then you change the image. And when you change the image, it leads to the awareness that change image, change life. Change image, change life. So in your opinion, if now we say that this is a pen, right? And if we say that we change the image, we change the image of this, we change it into the image of a diamond, right? We change the image into diamond. So let's close your eye and change the image of this, turn it into the image of a diamond. Let's say, let's change it 1, 2, 3, change. So, does it turn into diamond? No. No, it doesn't turn into diamond. Why? Because this is already the outcome, the result. Therefore, we cannot do it. Okay? If it's already the outcome, we cannot change the outcome, but we have to change the cause, right? The outcome is already the pain, okay, that's generated from the old cause. So now we have to change it to the new cause in order to change the outcome. So we recreate our life by changing our cause. Okay, a relationship already ended in the certain result. Okay, we already get attached to the image already. Okay, and so your finances, you have to change the cause of it. Okay, you cannot change the outcome. Okay. We already familiar with using something in our life. We cannot change it. So now we go back and change the image. Okay, we change the image first, and then you go back to change belief, thought, action, habit. Okay, so in every outcome in life, change image is the priority. Okay, I see Anh Dũng raise his hand. I would like to invite you. And Dũng said, hello everyone, I have a question. I'm wondering that if I change image, it's very good, like you said, but there are certain circumstances I cannot change the image. For example, I've seen on Facebook of one of my friends, he said that if owed a certain amount of money, right, and he squared me and he got that image, then how can he change? Obviously, I don't know who is that person. I meet him and he's just like everyone else. Then obviously it's very easy for me to have a different image. So how can he change? Then Nhật said, if you can change it, it's very good. If you can't change, it doesn't matter. Okay. So if that person can change, then eventually the outcome will change. It can change immediately, or it may take time for it to change, for a while. To change. But here, when we said that we change image, we concern about ourselves. Don't bother about other people, okay? Because with others, they have to change themselves. But with us, we cannot say that how can we help other people to change. The only way is I have to talk to them in order to understand. Okay. And Dũng said that sometimes I encounter a situation I couldn't able to change the image. And Nhật said that give me an example. And Dũng said a friend borrow money from me, okay, and I asked him to pay back, and then he avoided me. So how can I change that image? Then Nhật said that, right, so whenever you mention about that person, you see that person is not okay, unreliable, right? Okay, so that is the outcome already. Your outcome you already reap, okay? The outcome you already received. Okay. Okay, so that outcome already there. Okay, whether you get the money or not doesn't matter. But the image you have with that person nowadays is will determine the outcome of the relationship. Okay, that image is the image of that person related to the relationship, not the image that that person will eventually pay you back the money, right? Okay, maybe you can do that, maybe you can't. So that's the different outcome. Right? The outcome we talk about is the relationship between you and that person. So when mentioning that person, you already attach that person to a certain image already. So if you already have image about that person, then do not lend that person money anymore. Because sometimes you still have to hold on to that image. Okay, we don't expect all the image to be beautiful. Okay, we're responsible for our image. Okay, because if we choose that image, then the outcome will reflect. Okay, if we change the image, then the outcome will be different. Okay, and then Dũng said that, right, so we change the image, so the relationship will be better in the future. It doesn't mean that I can get my money back, right? Thank you very much, Thầy. And you can say, thank you very much. Right, so it's very sensitive though for anything related to money, right? Because some people said that they change the image, but they do not get the money, right? It's not that. The relationship, okay, the outcome is the relationship, right? So, okay, monies and and relationship, okay, and love and So the outcome is already there. Okay. The outcome is already there. The outcome already facilitate it, manifest already. Okay. Okay. So anything related to money, related to love, okay, affection. Some people, they always got cheated on. Always got cheated. Whoever they meet, whoever they love, they got cheated. Even they do not, okay, even they might not acquainted with anyone, right? But those story, those people got cheated on, or those story of people get cheated will appear in front of their eyes. So they might surf the internet, surf social media, and they saw those story. Okay, so whatever the story that appear on the social media all the time, you be careful with them, because you are currently attracting them. For somehow you already get and attach to that image, and that image keep appearing. And some people, they have, doesn't matter how bad is, how big is the story that go on social media, but they never know about it. Okay, those story, those scandals never reach them. Okay, because they already create a new image. They be proactive. They take initiative to manage their image. Okay, they cut off, they cut tie to anything that not good, and those images, those bad image, never ever appear in front of them. Okay, but the moment we already attach to them, already entangled to them, we keep coming back. They keep coming back to us. So the moment that we get attached to the image, how can we change? Right? We'll talk about it later. Now we talk about when we change our image, we change our life, and how to change it. Okay, it depends. Some certain image, okay, we will talk about it in the next session. Okay, when we talk about, when we already talk about the all three angles of the humanistic life, then we can do that. Because currently we only talk about the scientific view only, and certain things science couldn't be able to explain them, right? So in the next workshops, we'll be able to talk about the causality in terms of humanistic view and cosmic view, and then we will know how to change. But for today, this is all we know. Okay, right. So the priority is changing image, changing life. Secondly, the application of our mental image in our life is that first, okay, whatever unbeneficial image, we already can guess the outcome, right? So up to here, we know the image in our mind before we do something. If it's not good, not positive, then somehow we already can guess the outcome. Yeah? Okay, because that image will lead to that outcome. So if you want a different outcome, then the priority is change image. For example, if a person have a difficulty in finances, so instead of dig into doing a lot of work, okay, instead of having to doing a lot of hard work, then we should prioritize changing the image first before we start to act. Because if they already have the image that life is difficult, then whatever they do is still very difficult, and never get into the better outcome, because that image you hold on to that will lead to their action. Okay, some people, they get lucky enough during the process of acting, they changing the image. Okay, you might heard a lot of story in society, and people start to act right. During the process of acting, okay, they manage to change the image, and immediately, okay, is change into a higher level of circle. So they reach different outcome. So before you start doing something, we start to search the image, to see whether it's a good image. If it's not good, then we priorities is to find a way to change it. Okay, and how to change it, I will tell you later. Okay, so the priority is to change the image. Okay, so before doing something, we scan to see the image. If it's a good image, good. If it's not, then change it. So that is the first thing. The second thing, if you already change image, then we have to clear image. We having to clarify our image, because when you have a clear image, that is the outcome. Same color. Yeah, same color. Okay. So clear image is the outcome. Clear image is outcome. Okay. So you are very clear of where you are living right now, right? Because you have clear of image of where you live. Okay. So whatever image you have is clear, you will have the outcome of it. So let's say before you start a project and you haven't clarified the images, you might have to pay for it, pay the price. Okay. Put it simple this way: if today lunch, what you want to go to eat, and you are not clear what you want to eat, then you have to pay for time running around look for things that you want to eat, right? You have to pay for the fact that you're not clear what you want to eat. So, and people said that if a person is unclear of their marriage, then they had to pay by the yield. Okay, because when they enter into marriage, they don't know what is happiness in marriage. Then they have to pay by the yield. And the price they pay the yield. But if they very clear of the image of their marriage, then the chance is that they can make it. Okay. And when we build a house, when we build a house, and we unclear of the image of that house, okay, we unclear of what we need to do, how much we need to spend, what stone we want to use. And if we unclear of all of that, then the chance is that we have to pay a big price for that. Okay, pay by effort, by time, by money. Okay, and most people, if they're unclear of what they want, then they have to pay a price for it. And in most business projects, people clarify it before they start. Okay, obviously we don't have to be clear of everything, but they clear of how they get there, clear of the destination. Okay, clear of the result, but obviously there's a certain things that are unclear, and the moment they step into that road, then everything starts to get clearer. Okay, but the destination, the people, all the pieces put together, they clear of it. They have a clear image of human resources. Okay, of who working with them. They might not be clear, but they know they have a clear image of who put into a certain position, have a clear image of the work they need to do. Okay, right. Then they don't have to pay the price. But if they are unclear of the image, then they have to pay a big price. And some people pay the price with their time. Some people pay the price with their effort. Okay. But if it's clear, then they get the result. Okay, a lot of company, they put a lot of money into a project, but they have no clear vision, so eventually they don't get the outcome that they want. So, and then eventually they have to ask someone to advise. Okay, in some way or another, they clarify the image, and immediately they get the outcome. So this is one of the application that we will apply a lot in business. Okay, in projects. Okay, in projects, clear image is a priority. Okay, it is a life or death for that project. Okay, they need to clear about the missions, clear of that destination, clear project. Okay, a smaller project, they have to be clearer. At the started, okay, is can be unclear, but when they start going, it has to be all clear. Right, so we understand the application until here. So with all the mentor master, if you open a class, you must be clear of the image that you want, because if not, you have to pay the price for the time that you spend, and the outcome is not desirable. And if you're already clear, then you have the outcome. You have a clear image that what you want people to receive, what outcome you want people to get. Okay. The third application in business is that start with the image, the mental image in mind. So everything start with the end result, the end outcome, the end image in mind. Begin with the everything begin with the end image in mind. Start with a clear. So you start everything with a clear vision of your desired outcome. Okay. You have to know the result that you want, the outcome that we want, and then you trace it back. Okay. Okay. You have to have the outcome. Begin with the So what does images form from? What we hear, what we see, what we talk, what we know. Okay, the whole process that we have accumulated all the hearing, seeing, talking, and knowing. Okay, so with the children who grow up in poor family, parents always fight, then they have the image that their parents is always arguing. Then they will have a bad image of marriage. But the children who grow up in the harmonious family, then they have the image of harmonious family. So the relationship of the parents is the environment that create the future of their children. Okay. there's a person asking whether he or she talk no is the deepest root cause. Okay, it is, but we say that our image is the root cause. But our image created by what we hear, see, talk, know. And nowadays, so nowadays the age of marriage is getting older, right? Because many people witnesses many unhappy marriage. So if you witnesses so many unhappy marriage, is influence your decision, and that's why the young people nowadays, they do not want to get married, partly because they do not have a good image of marriage. And there's a lot of image of single mom, right? Because single mom have a good quality of life, and they have self happiness, right? Then the result, the outcome of society nowadays is oriented toward single mom image. So if you have start the projects of marriage, okay, family, marriage and family, then give people the image, okay, of happiness, harmonious marriage, rather than focus on the problems in the family, okay, and spread that through social media. You influence people image in their mind with those video that you created through AI that bring happiness, that bring the message of happiness. And obviously those stories have to be true, have to be real. Okay, then it will help society a lot. And our image come from what we hear, see, talk, know. So you can write it down for me. That write it down. Okay, manage hearing, seeing. Okay, and change talking, knowing. Manage hearing, seeing. Change talking, knowing. Okay, I added this in. Okay, so you take initiative. Do not hear and see anything that negative. Okay, and one of the things in our society nowadays, that you will hear a lot of things about difficult economics. Okay, although that's right, okay, we do not ignore them. Okay, but we take initiative to manage what we hear and see with the big business, big organization. Doesn't matter how changing the economy, they have a certain hearing and seeing that benefit them. So somehow we have choose to attract the hearing and seeing according to what benefit to us. Because if we constantly listening to what is detrimental, unbenefit to us, then if we listen a lot about failure and we want to be success, it's impossible. Okay, so you take the lessons from that, but obviously we have to reduce all of those failure, otherwise you're going to get attached to those image. Okay, because when we start a business, you have those image, eventually you get into trouble as well. And if you listen a lot about a difficult economy, a struggling economy, then you get attached to that image. Okay, so we do not stay in the passive position, but we be active position. So somehow when we talk about the business market, right, if you see difficulty, then you have to change that image. Okay, if a difficult market appear in your mind, you have to change that market. Okay, but if you think that you can do it, then good for you. You understand? So sometimes we have to scan our image, because our image is not stable. It will change. Okay, it's not fixed. It will change. The important thing is what other people tell us. They love us so much, right? People around us, they love us so much. They will tell us what they want, but we have to see whether what they say is in alignment with what we desire or not. So we need to have a clear mind. Okay, and anything that unbeneficial to us, we leave it there because it's not good for us. So I have a rule in my relationship, is that I tell all of my brother and sister around me that whatever good, tell me. Whatever positive, tell me. If anyone tell anything that are not good about me, I don't want to hear them. Okay, but obviously I know what I'm doing it not good, right? So in your opinion, do you know that you do something and it's not good, right? Over time, you know. Somehow people said it and you heard it, right? So we are not stubborn. We keep moving ahead. But we do not want to hear that repeatedly, because we want development, we want growth, so we want to hear all of the positive things. So take initiative to tell everyone around you, because maybe they don't know, and then they bring back certain information to tell you because they love you, so they send not good information. So with the leaders in a company, okay, if that leader listen to all of the information and then get attached to those negative image about people, then it's not good. So we stop it at the beginning. Okay, do not let it enter into our mind. Because sometimes those leaders who have to resolve problem with people, it's give them a headache. So those leaders, they have a very good way. It doesn't matter how bad a person is in other people's eyes, but in their eyes, they hold on to a good image of that person, and that person become a talent asset for that leader. So that person is bad toward other people, but that person is a talent for that leaders. Okay, so that leader, they cut off all of the non-beneficial information, and they pick and choose to keep the good image, the positive image of that person. Okay, sometimes they're a bit stubborn about it, and then the result will end it toward that, oriented toward that direction. So the image, okay, that we have been talking about those examples related to develop a company, an organization, right? Because if you develop a company, an organization, is mean develop people. Okay, so in terms of human resource, okay, whether you be able to create a talent for your company or not, a talent asset for your company or not, is depend on the image that you create. So people might not done their job properly, very good, okay, but you choose an image of that person, and then you recreate that person, okay, and any negative image, okay, do not see they're not important, okay, unless they've reached a certain limit, okay. For example, if their image of their characters, their virtue, okay, got problems, then you have to adjust it. Otherwise, okay, if they do not do anything wrong in the little things, then other people may talk bad about them, then don't bother about it. Because those little things, it doesn't affect the big things, okay. So choose the image that you want. So application in the personnels, right? personals. So you can apply this when you want to expand relationship, right? Okay, let's talk about change what we know and what we talk. Okay, the most important is changing what you know. Okay, you change what your perspective. Okay, to change your perspective to deserve all of the desirable outcome. For example, we talk about changing people awareness. So the change in the fact that you know who is the wise, who is the expert, who is the master, who is the mentor. Okay, we change all of that knowing. Then our image about people will spreading, okay, and is determined. The relationship coming to us will lean toward, will orient toward that. Some people, when we talk about the relationship between people, they see that, it's a very long time until they be able to meet someone who help them. And in certain classes, they teach people how to attract the wise person come into their life, the helper come into their life. And so we need to change the image of people in order to attract the different people come into our life. Whenever mention people, we see that those people around us are the wise, the helper, the connector, right? Then the door of condition, good relationship will open for us, favorable condition. Okay, and that's why we need to change what we talk and know. Okay, and if it's good enough, then we can change all of them. We do all of this, manage what we hear and see, change what we talk and know. Right, let's summarize. The causality of humanistic view in terms of science, this diagram we call is the formula of the root cause of life. Okay, the outcome of our life, okay, has formed by the image in our mind. You can forget whatever in between, right? The outcome that's come from the image. Okay, the image creates the outcome. So if we want to change the outcome, we need to change the cause in the image. Okay, that everything is surrounding with the image in a person's mind. So whatever all the negative image, dissolve them. Okay, dissolve them. If we are unable to dissolve them, then in the next few workshops we will do that. And maybe it will dissolve. They will dissolve immediately. Maybe it takes time for them to dissolve. Okay, and when you only have the good image, positive image, then that will change the people, the relationship with the people around you. Okay, and the project, whatever project, we have to start with the image. So the outcome image. Okay, big. So with the end image is what we start with. Okay, the end image is what we start with. So we clarify the image of the projects and everything around us. So the more clarity, the less you have to pay the price. Okay. The more clarity, the less you have to pay the price. Okay. But obviously, we don't wait until everything clear, then we start doing. Okay. It's not necessary, because otherwise, the chance is that there's a lot of things that will be unclear. Okay. So at certain project, you will need to have the goal, right? So you have about the process. You be clear about the personnels. You be clear about the source of income, the source of money. Okay. So in your mind, you have to be clear of a lot of things to start it, but there's something also up here unclear anyway. So let's have another one in business. That means in business, when we talk about money, right? To be clear about money, it doesn't mean that you have to have a figure in your mind. You have to have a number figure in your mind, but it is about how do you use that money, how you spend that money. For example, if you want to attract, let's get a number as an example. Say 100 million, right? 100 billion. So the image of that clear doesn't mean that you write a big image and then stick it on the wall. Okay, it doesn't have any effect. But you have to see that 100 billion, what do you use the money for? Okay, there's a way that first, how the money coming in, and second, how the money going out. Okay, and when you have money, then when you have that money coming in, right, when that project already make that money, that 100 billion, then you see where that money is spent. So the money going out, the outflow of the money, the inflow of the money. Okay. In the past, when I've trained the entrepreneur class, we had a homework that everyone had to have to write down a figure, right? Had to write the figure, and they want a passive income. Some people they write down that they want a passive income of 200,000, and every day we double that amount, and that's entrepreneur. Okay, their homework is every day they have to use up all of the money. Okay, so today they use 200, tomorrow they use 400, and the next day we double that into 1600, and then we continue to double that every single day, and that person have to use up all of the money. So at the beginning they know how to use the money, right? So we do not let them invest more, right? Because the money is double every day. That's enough. We don't need to add any more in. So they just need to use it, spend it. So we talk about how they spend it on health, their personnel, their employees, their children, their family, etc. And then everything starts open up. Okay, and eventually when they get to a lot of money, maybe a month later, is going up to like million and $1 billion. And when it double up to the huge amount of money, they don't know how to spend that money. Okay, so what is the limit of that is your outcome. Okay, because when you have that money, you will do that. Okay, when you have a fulfilled lifestyle, then you think about how to spend that money for society. And if you have a clear image of doing that, then congratulations to you, because that is a beautiful image of money you will have in the future. So as the spending plan, money spending plan, you have to be clear on the money spending plan. Okay, and somehow maybe your image only that much, you can't think of anything more. Then we often said that the outcome of our life cannot overcome what we hear, see, talk, know. And then sometimes we go and ask other people, okay? Ask other people, oh, how do you use your money? How you spend your money, right? So if you're doing business, okay, go and ask other people how do they use their money, okay? And by that you expand your knowledge, you expand your understanding, okay? So people will share to you how they spend their money, okay? And you listen to that, and later on you can apply that in your business. And then at the beginning, you use your money, and then the money will coming in. So the more you use the money, the more money will coming in, right? Okay, mostly people will earn the money first and then think about spending later. But here, that is not the way we go here. The way we go here, we start with the end. We start with the end, so we think about the money we're spending first, okay, and then the money will come in to fulfill that spending plan, okay. And in order to spend the money, okay, you have to have a certain amount in order to spend, right? Then the money coming in, it must coming in with that amount in order for you to spend. So the lifestyle that you have today is exactly the amount of money that you already determined. It can be any lower than that, because if it's lower than that, it threatens your life, because there are certain expenses you have to pay during your daily life. So remember, at the beginning, okay, at the beginning you might not spend that much, and that's why your income is not much. It could be a few hundred only, right? And then you have to spend. Maybe you owe someone money, or maybe you spend money on your health, or certain amount that you have to spend. Okay, the expenses increase. Okay, so you have to have the income coming in to fill up that spending, the expenses. All right, so we do not have the okay. So the more you use, the more you spend, the more money coming in. Okay, so it's the same with our personal life, right? Okay, when you start with your life, you might start just spending a few hundred, and then it's increased to 1,000, 100. Okay, right? And because of that, the money coming in has to be increased much more. It cannot be lower. If it's lower, how can you spend for your lifestyle, right? And from there, the income will increase. The income will increase to suit the expenses that you're paying. Okay. So we expense first, and then the income coming in. Okay. So because you have to pay for those, then the income has to coming in. Right. Obviously, we have to follow the rule and regulations. Okay. We have to follow the law. Okay. So the expenses is more, then the income will come in more. Right. So that is the application of the mental image with our life and with business. And summarize. Okay. Image is the cause, and the outcomes is the result. So we have to change the image in order to change our life. Is that okay, everyone? So the image is the cause. Okay, thank you, everyone. So that is the core content today. And you remember that the cause in science is our mental image. So you need to change our mental image, everything surrounding with our mental image. Okay, and in the next workshop you've applied. Okay. And if you have any questions, I will listen and answer. Thank you ever so much, everyone. Thank you, anh Đạt, thầy Thống, thầy Hiệp. Thank you, cô Phương. I pass the microphone back to cô Phương. Thank you, thầy. Thank you, y'all, for your presence today that help us to clarify Thank you to Nhật Anh and represent other teachers and the institutions. Okay, thank you for giving us the application of the formula for the root cause of life in many aspects, especially the aspects of business, in relationship in business, as well as anchor the image in the business. I read a lot of messages that people put in the chat box. Okay, but next Saturday we're going to meet our teachers again to learn more about the knowledge in humanistic view and be able to apply the knowledge in the business as well as in personnel and to resolve relationships in business. Thank you ever so much, teacher. Thank you for all teachers and everyone here, and thank you for all the professors who participate in today's Zoom. We're going to meet each other again next Saturday at 8:30, and in the journey that we doing here, that we will discuss about the cause of life in order for us to master our life. Okay, I'll see you all next Saturday. Okay. Nãy có cái câu là begin with the end image in mind cả nhà. Thì câu này là bắt đầu bằng kết quả, hình ảnh tâm trí. Kết quả thì mình dùng từ outcome ha. Nhưng mà cái tri thức này là tri thức của khoa học. Và trong cái cuốn sách cái gì của Napoleon Hill thì có một cái câu rất là nổi tiếng là begin with the end in mind. Cái câu đó thì nó rất là nổi tiếng trong giới khoa học cũng như là giới phát triển bản thân này. Begin with the end in mind. Cái cuốn tên gì, tên nhớ nhỉ? Yeah. Thì cái câu nó có sẵn rồi nên anh Trang dùng cái câu đó và bỏ thêm là end image. Cái the end của họ là nó khác. The end của nó là cái quả mà họ muốn. Còn cái the end của chúng ta á, là cái image, cái hình ảnh tâm trí. Mình dùng cái hình ảnh tâm trí là cái nhân làm cái end, cái kết quả của mình. Thì thay vì dịch nó sát với lại từ vựng của mình là đáng lẽ là từ kết quả là outcome, thì Trang dùng cái câu mà nó vốn dĩ đã có sẵn nhé cả nhà, the end image in mind. Còn Trang thấy chị Ma có bỏ cái câu lên thì cái câu đó nó lại có một cái nghĩa hơi khác một chút, the image of the end in mind. Okay. The image of the end in mind thì nó lại cái nghĩa đó lại hơi khác một chút. Khác như thế nào thì chị có thể dùng ChatGPT giải thích cho nó rõ hơn. Thì nghe thì nó cũng giống đó nhưng mà nó lại là khác á. Ok. Rồi hôm nay cả nhà cảm thấy sao? Có hy vọng.
Cô Trang ngon quá. Cả nhà giữ hình như cô Trang nè.
Em log out nha. Có hy vọng là một ngày nào đó chúng ta đều có thể ngồi chuyển ngữ cho tất cả các chương trình của tổ chức của mình không cả nhà?
Hình đẹp quá cô.
Em nghe cô xong cái em tắt luôn bên tiếng Việt, em nghe tiếng Anh luôn.
Tại vì tiếng Việt nghe quen rồi, tiếng Việt tri thức này biết rồi, tiếng Việt chưa thức mà chưa biết là phải quay vào nghe tiếng Việt thôi. Nhưng mà tại vì tiếng Việt tri thức này biết rồi, cho nên bây giờ nghe là một cái ngôn ngữ khác, là giống như là mở rộng não của mình thêm, nhưng mà đã có cái foundation rồi, cả nhà mình đã có cái gốc rễ rồi.
Cả nhà giờ Thụ Đắc lại chia sẻ công thức của nguồn cuộc sống bằng tiếng Anh thôi. Mình có bản của cô Gemma làm bản Thụ Đắc, bản transcript của cô An Trang hôm nay chuyển ngữ luôn đó cả nhà. Cho mình tài liệu để mình có thể luyện đọc, luyện nói.
Thank you cô Gemma, xịn quá. Xong cô Gemma có file luôn, ngon quá cô Gemma ơi.
Dạ, em chưa có rà lại đó nên là không biết là bạn làm thế nào cả nhà, nhưng mà thôi cứ dùng tạm ha. bị thiếu mất một khúc đầu. Thầy nói về outcome. Dạ, nó bắt đầu từ like và character ạ.
Không sao đâu cô, ngày mai transcript ở bên YouTube cũng sẽ hiện lên á. Lấy ép vô đó.
Không thôi, sau cái khóa thuật quảng bá mình đi khóa thấu hiểu nội tâm á cả nhà, mình đi khóa thấu hiểu nội tâm bằng tiếng Anh hoặc là song ngữ để cả nhà mình có cái file luôn. Mình bám vào cái file K36 của thầy á thì nó ngon hơn. Rồi 12 giờ đêm rồi mình nghe tiếng lãng cảng trong bếp.
Đấy, cái bản mà hôm trước Dân nói chuyện với cô Gemma đây này. Có cái này xong rồi ra ngon luôn á.
Dạ, nên là các cô cứ giỏi công nghệ á. Phải cứ xung phong gánh vác. Nhanh chóng là
Dạ, cái này là Notion ạ. Còn cái transcript của Zoom nó ra chữ nó chưa được ngon lắm á.
Save lại mấy cái file này. Có gì nhờ Trinh sẽ post cái link này lên trong cộng đồng cho mọi người. Ok, mình họp team chút không cả nhà? 12 giờ đêm.
Không, để gửi thông báo mail đàng hoàng cô. Nhắn.
Cái này là đến thứ 7 tuần sau cũng bên viện là cũng tiếp tục ha cô?
Dạ, như là mỗi tuần luôn đó cô.
Cái đợt này mình được trợ duyên từ viện luôn hay là mình được nhận hiện thực luôn? Tuần cũng sẽ tổ chức cứ thứ 7 hàng tuần đó cả nhà.
Sang thứ 7 tuần sau cô Xuân hỗ trợ đầu giờ không ạ? Nhờ cô Trinh tắt like nha cô.